think you're a team now? You're herd animals, dependent on someone else to survive. Like you, Harkness. An illiterate alcoholic who's desperate for the spotlight.
Yeah, and Floyd's a deadbeat dad. Sharky's a freak who'll never be a real boy, and I'm... What was it? Oh yeah, I never was too bright. Get some new material, jerk off. You know, Joker used to be real good at hurting people with words. But you, boop. Even when you're evil, you're still too good. You had a good run, Brucey. Flying around Gotham, punching bad guys, cleaning up the streets, causing long-term mental and emotional damage to everyone you knew. It's our turn now. After all we've been through. Oh. Bet you didn't think it'd be me at the end, huh, Bats?
Are we done with your bad stand-up routine?
Almost. But you always gotta end on your best joke.
Hey, it's Twisted Cable. Today I'm coming to you guys with a video that is a bit different from what I normally upload. Recently I played through the game Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, and I had a few thoughts about some of the creative decisions that Rocksteady had made, and I just want to share it with you guys. So, spoilers ahead for the Suicide Squad game, although it has been out for a while at this point. What I really want to talk about today is the way that they killed off Arkham Batman. Now, before really getting into it, I just want to say that I'm an extremely big fan of Kevin Conroy, and I was heartbroken when I found out about his passing. I have an old Batman comic book signed by him that I consider to be one of my most prized possessions. It's one of my most prized possessions because his version of Batman was one of, if not the best ever in my opinion, and that was due to the voice acting of Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy's voice for Batman was iconic, and the best voice for the role that I've ever heard. Batman is a complex character who's intimidating to most, but also has his moments where you can really see and feel the pain that he endures. Kevin Conroy was able to bring this depiction to life. And with all that Kevin Conroy and his iteration of Batman has done, it's tough to see that the way he goes out is on some random park bench by some C-tier villains. This was the version of Batman that can take on his entire rogues gallery in a single night, and yet he can't take on this crew? I also get that he's being mind controlled, but still doesn't make sense to me because he's trying to kill them initially and easily could have. Although maybe I'll rant about that and other poor plot points in another video. But right now I want to talk about the one thing about his death that I did enjoy, which was actually something that I heard people complaining about. It was the fact he died in the way that I mentioned before. He died on a random bench to a group of C-tier villains. Although it was a good idea, it was poorly executed in my opinion. Many of you probably watched Batman the Animated Series, but for those that do not know what it was the animated show that Kevin Conroy was the voice actor for Batman in. In that series, there was an episode titled The Man Who Killed Batman. In that episode, Batman goes to stop a drug run and he comes face to face with Sid the Squid. Sid the Squid isn't some hardened and diabolical criminal, but rather a henchman of the mob who is a lookout on the roof of a nearby building for a drug run. Sid is just a regular guy, and the only reason he got his nickname in the first place was because the other guys in the drug run gave it to him to make fun of him. The only reason they even brought him in the first place was to throw him to Batman so that they could run while he gets captured. But when Sid meets Batman, he knocks Batman to the ground out of sheer dumb luck after getting thrown by Batman. Then, because of how frightened by Batman he is, he walks backwards and nearly falls off the rooftop. He manages to grab onto the rooftop before falling to his death and is struggling to pull himself up. Batman being Batman goes to save Sid, and during Sid's struggling, a brick falls off the building to hit a giant propane tank below them, which cracks it and causes gas to escape. Batman then manages to pull up Sid, but in the process Batman falls off the building because more bricks collapse underneath his feet. As Sid looks over the edge to see what happens to Batman, the propane tank explodes and Batman is thought to have died. and so the episode proceeds with everyone thinking that the Batman died to this nobody. Later in the episode, it is revealed that he swung away right before the tanker exploded. But what stuck to me in this episode was how, with all that training, Batman still almost died to a guy that wasn't capable of that much. It stuck to me because it perfectly shows how unpredictable the world is and how fragile we are as people. So you may be wondering, how does this relate to the Suicide Squad game? Because I think that one of the only things that the game did right was show how mortal Batman truly is. In the Arkhamverse, Batman is a highly trained combatant that can take down pretty much anyone. And yet he dies to a group of villains that normally can take down in 10 minutes. But underneath all of the training, tech, and intelligence, he is just a man. And while we want him to always win, or if he did die, it would be some grand heroic sacrifice, his death in the Suicide Squad game showed us that he is just a man. And it just takes one time for him to be unlucky, and some random thug with a gun can take him out. I know people say that's Arkham Batman, and he can't die like that, or it's a disgrace to Kevin Conroy's memory. I say that's not the case. That him dying in an unsatisfying and not over the top way connects him more to humanity. A person can do everything right, and they can still end up dying. You can never smoke a day in your life and still get lung cancer. Never jaywalk and still get hit by a car. Walk down the wrong alley and get shot. The world is unpredictable, and we are fragile as people. So while I didn't enjoy the boss fight, and honestly thought that he should have won, because if we're being honest, the squad, they won because of plot. I liked the direction that they were trying to go in by killing him in the park. Also, I liked how it felt like they were trying to take some inspiration from some of Kevin Conroy's other work in the role as Batman. Of course, all of this is just my opinion, and there's a possibility that none of what I said could have been what the developers were intending. Also, if you guys don't agree with me or have any other thoughts, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. And if you like these types of videos where I give my take on things, feel free to like and subscribe so that I'll know to upload more content like this.